Caitlyn had a rough time recently. She was arguably the worst champion in the game, sitting at a comfortable 47% win rate, getting outperformed by picks like Singed AD carry of all things. Yeah, it was rough. However, there is this one Caitlyn player. I know Caitlyn is significantly buffed now, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. This player, sitting at a 64% win rate in Challenger with arguably the worst champion in the game. It is unreal. Makes me think that Caitlyn didn't actually need any of the buffs she got, but, you know, not everyone uses the same strategy that the rank 1 Caitlyn uses. So, I mean, most Caitlyn players at the time used fleet footwork, bought the heavily nerfed crit items, and continued to feed their LP to the enemy. But here's how this guy made it work. So first of all, Hail of Blades rune page. This is his main strategy, because you know what? Caitlyn is the undisputed queen of the lane phase, and no amount of nerfs will ever change that. So the rank 1 Caitlyn, his summoner name is Metro Archer by the way, goes all in on that idea, completely dominating his lane opponents with this keystone. He also used to buy Hubris first item, making him as strong as possible early on with lethality, but ever since the Collector buffs he just does the same thing with Collector Rush, which also looks a lot less tilt-inducing for your random raging solo queue teammates, but we'll talk about the item build later. First of all, the rune page. So, Hail of Blades. Yes, the rune is target nerfed for ranged champions, like pretty much everything in the game these days, but Caitlyn with a range advantage over even other AD carries gets such brutal early game trades with this thing, it's absurd. Especially in combination with Sudden Impact, the second rune on the domination path chosen here. What the rank 1 player does, I mean, most players would recommend to play it safe on Caitlyn, poke the enemy from range and keep your spells ready in case you need to disengage. But what the rank 1 player does, he uses Caitlyn's E-spell to dash forward, gets in range to unload Hail of Blades on the enemy while also unlocking Sudden Impact true damage at the same time. It is honestly such a power play, but, you know, make sure to do this only if you still have your ghost ready so you actually can disengage in case anything goes wrong, because with such aggressive play, you will attract a lot of attention from the enemy jungler naturally. The other runes are also pure offense, by the way, Treasure Hunter for earlier item spikes, and Eyeball Collection, plus Absolute Focus, plus Gathering Storm for the ultimate late game scaling. Yeah, Caitlyn will get to insane damage numbers, especially when you can out-pressure and outscale your opponents that consistently with Hail of Blades. Okay, but the item build. As I've mentioned, the build used to start with Hubris, then transitioning into crit items, and it was fairly successful, to say the least. I mean, this is a screenshot I took before the Caitlyn and Collector buffs. And this is a screenshot from after the buffs, so this madman played like 100 games in 2 weeks, maintaining the above 60% win rate, firmly placed in Challenger with 600 something LP, and obviously the item build nowadays is Collector first, then, very important, Lord Doms second. Caitlyn isn't as much about the ADC life in the early game, she's more like a burst mage actually. Your abilities deal so much damage to anyone in sight with just these two items and the amazing synergy they have, not only with each other, so, you know, lethality plus % armor penetration, but also with all the AD you get from your runes. Then of course your auto attacks will also sting hard once you finish your third item, Infinity Edge, and for the last two items the rank 1 player rounds out his defenses with Shield Bow and Bloodthirster, also getting to 100% crit in the process, which is very important for Caitlyn's headshot damage. Honestly, a brutal champion and a brutal playstyle for every part of the game. I have put a link to Metro Archer's profile in the video description, so you should go there and check out the profile if you have the desire to do this or to try this Caitlyn build yourself. I wouldn't be surprised if he has already played an additional 50 games one day after this video goes live. Anyway, in the description you also find a link to my sponsors from Solo Queue Solution in case you're interested in booking live coaching sessions with a personal challenger coach. They literally guarantee you will hit Diamond Elo after you finish the full coaching program. So check out Solo Queue Solution if you're serious about improving. Good luck, have fun, and take some souls with this Caitlyn build.